I'm here at Doak Campbell Stadium today with the owner and operator of Core Institute Massage Therapy, George Kuselius. Excuse me. He's going to sit down here with me today and tell you guys and myself a little bit about the business that he has started. So with that being said, George, tell me a little bit about yourself and about the business that you've started.
I'm 66 years old. I've been doing massage therapy. Yeah, I'm doing massage therapy now for 38 years. And my actual decision to get involved in massage therapy started here at FSU when I was a graduate student back in the 70s, playing rugby for FSU, had a neck injury, and Doc Falls, the fellow that this area is named after, treated my neck and told me I really needed to do better rehab through stretching, through massage therapy. He got me involved in a plan that helped out an awful lot. And I just got an interest at that time to start studying anatomy. I was in the psych department working on a graduate degree and started taking classes in anatomy and physiology. From that, I became a massage therapist in 1978. And for the next 12 years, I created a practice for massage therapy, and I started teaching workshops for licensed massage therapists, for something called continuing education. My specialty area was sports massage. I've always worked with athletes. And about 1989, I was actually teaching with my wife over in Spain. We had been invited over to work at this resort that a lot of athletes trained at. They asked me to come in and do some teaching for massage therapists from all over Europe who wanted to come there and learn some of the techniques that we were using here in the United States at that time. And while I was there, a small island in the Canary Islands called Lanzarote, we were in a cave one day that has this beautiful cave, and I had this revelation that when we came home, I needed to start my own school. The teaching on the road was fun, it was good, but we had young daughters, it was taking us away from home a lot, and I decided there in that cave that we would not only start the school here in Tallahassee, but we'd call it Core Institute, and the theme was, I'm in the cave, I'm in the core of the earth, and that's where the idea came up. So in 1990, my wife and I opened up the school, had no idea what we were doing. I had taught at a lot of schools before, but didn't know anything about administration or about advertising, promotion. All that was something new to me. I knew how to do massage. I thought I knew how to teach massage. But here we had to develop a whole curriculum for entry level. It had to follow state and national standards so our people could get licensed. And I'd say it took us 3 to 4 years really to become fully aware of all the responsibilities that we had to do every day. So we started the school in 90. We kept it going for 25 years. We ran day classes and evening classes. So I was there every day from about 8:30 in the morning till about 11 at night, 5 days a week, and making it happen.
So that's what people don't understand is how much time goes into starting a company like this, and how much that the owner has to put in. If they don't, buy in completely, just like anything in life, it won't succeed.
Well, we had a total, I think in 1990, we had a combined resources between my wife and I of about $10,000. And we were going to buy our first home. And we had to delay that to start the school. So we had to put all of our money that we had saved into the school without any guarantee that we'd even make a living. It was really just a hope and a prayer. But we knew one thing, and that was true, that I had a love for the profession, that I cared a lot about people learning at a higher level. And we decided to do something that was different than the typical model at that time. State of Florida required that your students be at least a high school graduate and a minimum of 18 years of age. I didn't learn massage until I was 28, and I kept thinking to myself, if I had started when I was 18, I would be pretty irresponsible. I wouldn't know how to handle myself in certain situations. So we made a decision that we would up our age minimum to 21, and that people had to have at least 2 years of college or 2 years of solid working experience before they could come into the school. So having an older student body, maybe a more mature student body, I think helped us out. And from our earliest classes, we saw that we were getting some great people. Now, we're here in Tallahassee, a lot of people who had gone to the universities, whether it was here or FAMU, many who had already studied anatomy and physiology, some who were athletic trainers wanting to expand into massage therapy, some who were personal trainers wanted to become massage therapists. We had nurses. We had all different kinds of people coming to us. A lot of them state workers who would come to our night class who were not happy with the work that they were doing for the state of Florida and thought, what else could I do where I can help people? So it was a really great group of people, and the first 3 years was a struggle. We really had to, figure out how to budget really well to have enough money left over at the end of the month, not just to pay bills, but to pay ourselves. That's right. I was much leaner back then. So it took, I would say, 4 years before we started to see a profit.
So besides just making ends meet, what other challenges did you guys face?
Well, there's always the challenge of finding the right employees. Mm-hmm. And for us, most of the employees were faculty members, people we had to hire as instructors. There was only 2 or 3 people in Tallahassee at that time who had more experience than I did. So they were the people I went to first. And by the 3rd year, we now had trained probably 40 to 50 people each year. So we had about 150 people by the 3rd year. And from that group, we could start selecting people we thought would make good teachers. So we started a teacher training program in our 3rd year where people who had just graduated could spend another year on staff as an assistant instructor and start learning how to teach. And from that group, we developed a really strong faculty. I would guess through the 25 years we had the school, we probably had about 30 different people that filled different faculty slots. 28 of them. I can only think of 2 that weren't graduates of our school. So there were people that came through the program, respected what we taught, knew us well. It felt more like a family. They knew our values, both the core institute values and our core values. Exactly. And our school gained a reputation quickly by the mid-'90s, maybe late '90s, of being one of the top schools in the country.
Now you've reached out, you've worked for professional athletes, Olympic athletes, etc. Talk to me a little bit about that, how that experience was, just really, not only as a sports fan, but just, working on these elite athletes like that.
And that was the part that was most exciting. In 1994, so the 4th year we had the school, an announcement was made in the newspaper that the British Olympic team had chosen Tallahassee as their warm weather training site to get their athletes ready for the Atlanta Olympics in '96. As soon as I heard that, I knew our school had to be involved. I'd always wanted the opportunity for my students to be able to practice on elite athletes. We had some FSU athletes that would come to the school and we'd work on them during student clinic, but we could never get our foot in the door here. There was never either a budget for it or enough time for it. It just didn't work out in the '90s. So then the British team accepted the offer that I had, which was to offer massage therapy for the whole summer of '95. They had about 300 athletes here training in '95. Then they brought the whole team with staff, all their coaches, all their medical staff. In '96, 6 weeks before the Olympics, we had 500 people that we had to treat. What they allowed me to do was to teach workshops. I'd bring therapists in from all over the country, 25 every week, train them in the morning, and work on the athletes in the afternoon and evening. Best experience those massage therapists had, best experience I'd ever had. And it opened up the world of Olympic sports massage to me and to other massage therapists. So '96 was the first Olympics where massage therapy was a part of the medical team in Atlanta. By 2004, just 8 years later, I had been asked by the Athens Olympics to organize an international team to support the Olympians and the Paralympians in Athens. So we stayed a month there from the end of July all the way through the end of August. First for the Olympics for 2 weeks and then the Paralympics. And 170 massage therapists from 18 countries were selected. They came in and we worked on 11,000 athletes during that time. Amazing experience. So from '96 to 2004, a lot of my extra work was training massage therapists to work on Olympic athletes.
That's what you kind of follow into.
Sure. We didn't get the call from the FSU sports medicine department until Jimbo's 2nd year here. And I was never more excited that we got the call saying that Coach Fisher wants a massage therapy team to work with the football athletes. I had offered that for 20 years, and it never happened. But having him here, having a new director of sports medicine, all of that made it much easier. And I'm not sure if you know, this is the 6th year that we're going to be here, 6th season. So we've seen the development of how sports body work. I call it body work because it's a deeper style of massage than what people typically think about. And we have some of the largest, most powerful athletes in the history of the world, not only at this facility, but at facilities like this all over the country and at the professional level. And FSU, during the time that we've been here, has dramatically lowered the soft tissue injury rate. And they talk about that every year. We know we're a part of that. We don't know how big of a part, but we're a part of that success in helping athletes play in a healthier way, not get injured as badly, and hopefully not miss as many games as
what advice would you give someone starting a new business?
A couple things. Number one, follow your passion. It's got to be something you care about more than anything else. You've got to be able to put everything else aside. Your future as a potential spouse to somebody. You can't be thinking, I've got to go find a husband or a wife. You have to think, I've got to make this business work. I've got to establish it. I've got to put as many hours in it as it takes. I've got to be willing to risk everything. Whether it's my money or whether I find investors, they have to believe it. They have to know that I'll work harder and longer than anybody. As long as you have that kind of a commitment, you're probably going to succeed as long as the passion is there. It's not just the work, it's the passion for it. With massage therapy, that made it easy for me. I knew that massage therapy helped save my career as an athlete when I was 25 years old. I had a loyalty to it that I didn't have to almost anything else in my life at that moment. I was studying psychology to become a drug counselor, doing drug rehab, and I did that for a while. But I didn't love it like I love massage therapy. So having that passion, having that commitment, and willing to forsake everything else, put everything else aside. Hobbies, sometimes you have to put them aside. Watching that game on Sunday afternoon, sometimes you have to put that aside. So as long as you're willing to make that kind of commitment, you should find success. I was lucky. I had a family that raised me who had a big family business. So I saw the people working together. Sometimes they didn't like each other. They always loved each other. They didn't always like each other. But I came from a big Greek family that had a big restaurant. All the aunts and uncles worked together every day. Even the cousins, as we grew up, we were brought into the business and helped out. So I saw that people working together towards a common goal, we usually make it happen. But one person can spoil the broth, right?
It can. One person can't make it, but one sure can spoil it.
They can spoil it. So you have to watch out for those naysayers and make sure that they don't have the influence that the people who are positive about it.
Yes, sir.
And I know that your career, whatever it ends up being, you're a very positive guy. So I feel strong that you're going to be successful.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for sitting down with me today. I really do appreciate it. That's all I have today. Owner and operator of Core Institute Massage Therapy, Mr. George. Thank you, sir.